stream for a long time, guys and girls. I'm sorry it's taken so long. It's hard lately because a couple of years ago, I could do live streams, you know, in public places like restaurants, hotels, coffee shops, and nobody would mind. But I think since COVID, things have changed. People don't really like it people kind of don't like it when you speak in doing the live stream in public places. And look, I can kind of understand that. If you're in a shop somewhere, or you just want some peace and quiet, and someone's talking loud doing a live stream, it can be a bit annoying. I'd feel the same, but at the same time, it's kind of frustrating because it's part of my message. I say to people and to myself, it's not healthy being at home, you know, for too many hours on your own. And that's why I don't really enjoy doing the live streams anymore in my house, because if I stay in my house too long, I could easily get down and depressed. And I help my clients with this, that obviously everything in balance. And at the moment I'm on the move, which I like. I'm running a business, I'm coaching clients. When I've got my spare time, I'm working on a big project. I'm exercising pretty much every day apart from I have a day off, meeting up with a friend, working on a lot of business projects. So I don't like being in my house too long. It's not really a place. I only like going home when it's time to go home. I'll have a nice meal, I'll cook, and I'll wind down and, you know, watch something and then get to sleep, get up the next day. So that's one of the reasons why I haven't done a live stream for so long. Anyway, hope all of you are doing good. I want to try and get it in. This coffee shop's lovely. Everyone's at the top, so I might have to stop it if people come down, because obviously look, that's the thing. I like the way that I was brought up by my parents. I'm a very respectful person. So, you know, sometimes there's a balance between when we say and teach, stop caring what people think. That's true. And that is a major problem today in society for everybody. And that causes a lot of anxiety. But there is a balance between not caring what people think, but having respect for other people. So it's not like, oh, I'm just not going to care what people think, and just, you know, whatever restaurant I'm in or every coffee shop, I'm just going to talk loud and do a live stream. That wouldn't be right. That's not really a nice way. Hello from India, you right? So there is a balance with things, you know. I do believe in that. I think we know that deep down. So I'll do my best today, and I'll take the chance. So, okay, so today I want to talk about, hold on a second. I want to talk about anxiety. I want to talk about what I'm teaching my clients, what I'm practicing, what I'm putting out on free platforms, the paid programs, and I'm learning about it every day because I'm facing, look, let me explain something in the right context. So I face my own anxiety every single day. So I'm still learning about it. You don't stop learning unless you want to stop learning. So I learned from my own experience about anxiety and about how to improve it. So I learned from that medium, and I want to share that. I also learned from coaching other people. I've been coaching people now for 12 years, believe it or not. It doesn't seem like it's gone quick. And I've worked with people from all different backgrounds and walks of life, with different job titles. And I've helped them to face and overcome pretty much most of the anxieties that are out there. Most of them, not all of them, but most. Public speaking, starting a business, getting a relationship, communicating, traveling, making friends, going to the gym, talking on the live stream, you know, and so many more things, little anxieties that people have that are a big deal. Like, you know, some people, you know, they get nervous to eat in public or have a coffee if someone's looking at them, things like that. If you know my story, you'd know that I struggled with all those things until I overcame the majority of them. So there's this kind of idea out there that hold on, sorry, where am I from? I'm from London, UK, but I'm also Irish descent, so I've got Irish in my family, and but I was born in London, grew up in London, so that's where I'm from. How do you stay disciplined with your diet? Yeah, that's a good question. I'm glad that you asked me that. I'd like to make a video on that. That's a good question. That's kind of hard. That's kind of hard to answer in one word. That's something that I need to kind of explain it. But I'm glad you asked me. I'll try and answer it now. But I need to make a note of that and do a video. Okay. So how do I stay disciplined with my diet? Well, the first thing that comes to mind is I had to change my relationship at Infinite Youth on dieting, from resenting it and hating the idea of it, and judging myself and beating myself up. So I changed that, and I changed it to more of being excited about dieting and focusing on benefits and how I can help more people. So that's how I did it, actually. That's how I do it. That's one of the ways I do it. So before I started dieting, I went into the new relationship with excitement and positivity. I didn't go into the relationship with depression, not wanting to do it. So I really wanted to do it from a passion, and I really want to teach other people, whether it's a paid client on my program, people that are on the free platforms, all of you, to have the same passion, or hope that they could have the same passion that I do. That's a big way how I do it. The second one is when I break my diet, which of course I don't like doing that, none of us do, but I forgive myself quickly and I get back on it if I break it. And I do break it. No one's perfect, but I'm consistently strict with it. But this last week I've broken it quite a lot. But I've worked, I train hard, and I'll make up for it the next day by being even stricter. So that's how I do it. No, I don't bother tracking calories. I think that's great. I think that's a really good idea, but that doesn't work for me personally. I did that when I was younger, so I've got nothing against that, and I think people should do that. But I found the method that works for me, and it's more just a lot of intermittent fasting that I do, or periodic fasting, and then making sure that I'm eating healthy food, clean food. And just consistency and training very hard, with the physical training. I incorporate the whole relationship together, because I just see it as all one. If you're not training hard, I guess it depends on your goals. But also as well, with dieting, I might change my mind. It's good to be flexible. So you said that now, I don't track the calories. That hasn't worked for me, worked when I was younger. But I might go, actually, I'm going to do that. So I'm not rigid in that I won't change things, but things are working. Yeah, I think counting calories it could work for you like everything, but it could also go against you, because it's quite, I'm sure most of us on this platform, and I know I am, we're quite obsessive, compulsive people. That comes with anxiety. I mean that in a positive way. So tracking calories can be a bit time consuming, a bit obsessive. Rather, my one is more, you get the principles right. You don't analyze too much. You analyze at the start, and then it just becomes part of your lifestyle. You flow more. There's more of an energetic enthusiasm. But everyone's got to find what works for them. Anyway, so there's this narrative out there, which I understand it, right? There's a narrative out there that says, overcome anxiety forever. And it's not true. It isn't true. At times I've probably said it because, people I don't think people are not outrightly lying. It's human language. So someone goes onto a podcast show and they interview the person and they say, tell us your story. Like, for example, I hope I get the opportunity more. And they'll ask me and say, Jonathan, what's your story? I'll say, well, I had anxiety, which I did. And I went out and I faced my fears in many areas, and in doing that, I was able to overcome it and be successful and help other people. But I had a lot of challenges, and then I had a mental health breakdown. And that's true, that's true. But if you want to be more truthful, the truth is no, you're still going to get anxiety. So you can improve anxiety, you can make massive improvements, but nobody is anxiety free if they're human. It's not true. I've investigated that for 40 years. And sometimes people, it's just language that we use. So you can definitely improve it. You can definitely, you can overcome anxiety in the sense that you can learn how to go out and face and live the life that you want to live. But that's really about getting control. So, I could give all of you two truths right now. And I'll ask you, what would you prefer? Do you want Do you guys want me to be honest with you, which I always try to be? That's my personality. That's what I teach. Or do you guys and girls want me to be really honest with you? You tell me what you want. No, that's not my thing. But I got nothing against people doing that. That's their choice. But nah, that's not my thing. Psychedelics, I don't feel that's right for me. But I'm glad that worked for you, and that's an important part of. Yeah. Okay. So today I wake up. I wake up in the morning. I've got anxiety this morning. The reason why I've got anxiety is because I'm human, and my body and mind knows that I'm going to be living a great day today. I'm going to be doing live streams. I'm helping people. I'm running a business. I'm challenging myself. I'm trying to get to help more people. So, and that's totally fine. But I mean this without being big-headed. It sounds big-headed and I don't mean it. I'm just passionate about being honest. But I've got the courage to face it. I didn't want to get out of bed today because I had a tough day yesterday, a good day yesterday. I'm facing challenges every day. I've chosen to live my life like that, and I'm not complaining, but I'm saying it's really challenging, but I grow a lot and I help people, and that's how I've chosen to, that's how I became successful. And I've come back from a lot of challenges, and I've got ongoing challenges that I'm dealing with. That we've all got challenges in our life. If it's not us, it's someone. And I'll tell more of you about that later on. I'm going to be more open. Well, I am being more open, especially since I'm 40, I'm getting older. I want to help more. It kind of happens when you get older. You want to help people more. You want to open up more. So I could give you 2 stories and go, I've overcome anxiety, and technically I have, because I'm doing everything that I couldn't do in my 20s. I couldn't go I couldn't go out of the house. I couldn't go into a coffee shop and just say, I could say, can I get coffee? But I couldn't have a conversation with the person serving me. I couldn't do it, I was too awkward. I can do that easily now. I couldn't do a live stream. I couldn't get myself out of bed. So in that context, yes, I've overcome anxiety. But to say to people that I don't feel anxiety, it's a lie, it's not true. I'm human. So I've got anxiety now in my body. The coffee, the excitement, and the nerves that hit me in the morning. So we have to put things into context, because otherwise I think what happens to people is, and I don't want this to happen to anyone, they see me or someone on YouTube or someone doing things that are brave, which is nice that people would admire someone. I'm the same when I see someone, and they think, oh, they don't have any anxiety, they're better than me, they're different to me, their life's perfect. And it's, no, our life is not perfect. My life is great, but it's not perfect. And yes, we do have anxiety, but we've got more courage than the people who haven't yet found courage. So for me, my teaching is more about, it's not so much saying to someone, right, you've got anxiety, I'm going to coach you and mentor you, and I'm going to take your anxiety away. I wish I could do that. It's like, no, I can't really take your anxiety away. I'm not God, I'm just a person. But what I can do is, I can build up your courage so that your courage is up here. And let's say at the start your anxiety is up here. Most people, that's how I was at the start, right? We're being truthful. So most people at the start, or wherever they're at in their life, depends on how they've lived their life, what therapy they've got, what coaching, mentorship. Most people's anxiety is full to the brim. Like, they're terrified of life, of everything. They're scared to death. I've been there. I have compassion, believe me. And their confidence is down here, and their strength and that, and they're mentally quite weak in that place. And that's not to insult anyone. I've been there. Hear me out. I want to help. So it's out of balance. Where I come in, if someone works with me, or if someone gets a good therapist or a teacher or an anxiety coach or a confidence coach, if I've got a committed client and they work with me and I mentor them on a program, I'm going to build their courage up like that. It's going to start going up. And as their courage goes up, their confidence, their gratitude, their attitude, the anxiety is going to start going down. It's not going to go away forever. That's impossible. It might go away like that for a season. It might go away because things are going well. And I love that. And the client will say, Jonathan, I've got no social anxiety. I've got no life anxiety. My business is going better. I'm getting on better with my family. I'm standing up to people that are bullying me. I'm kinder. I'm being more honest. I'm not watching porn. I'm quitting my addiction. I'm eating a better diet. That's amazing. There's nothing that makes me more happier than that. But when a challenge comes in, when someone in their business complains, or when they get criticized on the internet on their business, or when they get a rejection, or a family member upsets them, boom, boom, the anxiety comes in like a tidal wave, triggered. So it's a lifelong challenge for all of us. Does that make sense? So of course it's better to be brave every day. How did you overcome the awkwardness? Well, the awkwardness again is like the anxiety. People think, look, I still get awkward from time to time. I do. Again, I see where your question's coming from, but I want to try and give you the truth and in the right way. It's hard to explain this stuff on a live stream. Okay, so from where I used to be, I was such an awkward person. You guys and girls wouldn't recognize me. I wouldn't be able to do this live stream, the old me. I couldn't do it. I physically couldn't speak for more than 30 seconds. I'd be so nervous. You'd see it. I couldn't speak because I was so shy and frightened and ashamed and just a nervous person. So the way that I overcame it was by doing massive amounts of public speaking. Before I did public speaking, basically, I went to other people's events because that was terrifying for me, to be in a circle of 10 people. And I just sat in the circle and I didn't really speak much and just sat there shaking. So that's what I did to begin with, and that helped me to get a little bit less nervous. Then when I got a bit more braver, I set my own talks up in business. So I did a lot of public speaking, I did a lot of social engagements. I went on a lot of first dates. So yeah, I immersed myself in a lot of social situations and I became more confident and less awkward. But I just want to hold it there and say that's not all I did, because sometimes people hear my story. It's kind of frustrating. And again, everyone's a human, and they just go, oh, well, this is what Jonathan did. And I'm like, well, no, that is what I did, but that's not the only thing I did. You're just picking a little bit, and that's what people do today. There's other things that I did. I went to the gym. I had to work on trusting some people again. It wasn't easy to trust people. It was really difficult. So I couldn't trust everyone, and that wouldn't be smart, I don't think. But trusting someone, making some new male friends and learning how to be vulnerable again, because my fears of people bullying me and betraying me and controlling me, it's all anxiety. That helped a lot, and being a good friend to the new friends I had and getting a girlfriend helped. So it was a lot of things that I did that helped in the end, if that makes sense. It wasn't just one thing. I've kind of realized that recently, although one thing can make a big difference, if that makes sense, with the awkwardness. But yeah, it's a lot of practice, and to be honest, I had to get awkward a lot. I got awkward so much in front of people, and it was embarrassing, and I felt ashamed, and I felt really terrible about myself. But listen to this. When I started to realize that was the only way I was going to get better, I stopped caring as much, and I realized that anyone that I got awkward in front of, whatever they're going to think about me, at the end of the day, they've got awkward as well. They're human. Most people are very caring underneath. When you meet people, we're all human. We're all sensitive underneath, and I am as well. So I started to understand from other people's perspective, and then I would have some good days where I wouldn't get awkward. So the way that I overcome awkwardness was by facing my fear. What was my fear? Talking to people. I had to do that a lot. The second fear was, what if I get awkward in front of them and they see it and they judge me and they think I'm a terrible person, and when they go away they think I'm the worst person ever? Well, I had to face that psychologically. I had to face that in my own thinking. So I kept facing that. But when things went well, like today's going well, I didn't know today was going to go this well, and that's the chance you take. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying helping all of you, and appreciate all of you supporting me, listening to me. So when situations would go well, it would give me a lot of confidence that it could go well again, and it would motivate me to want to go back out into the world and talk to people and meet people and get braver and braver. So it's all courage and bravery. that's certainly what worked for me and what I teach. So I'm starting to think more about the word courage and bravery as opposed to just staying on the word anxiety, because we get obsessed with anxiety. I do as well, because that's the problem. But sometimes we don't focus on the solution, which is courage, bravery. You can't overcome anxiety without courage. It's impossible. How can you do that? You can't. It's not possible unless and that isn't impossible, unless you take some medicine, which is people's choice. I wouldn't recommend that as a long-term strategy. I have had medication, but it's not going to work long-term. Or for some people, and that's a personal thing, and I've experienced it, some people might have a spiritual experience, and I respect that because I've had that. But even with me having an experience with God again, which was, can't put it into words, I still had to live in the world and show up and face my anxieties and be brave with the help and strength that I got from my faith, from God, if that makes sense. But ultimately, whilst we're living on earth, in the human world, you need courage, because without courage, you're not going to leave the house. You're not going to go and get therapy. You're not going to go and meet people. You're not going to go to the gym. So my story is about courage. And it's been a continuation, if that makes sense. So it's daily. You've got to do it daily. Because if you just say, well, I want a teacher, I want Jonathan or anybody to give me a solution for my anxiety. I want them to take it away so I can live my best life and be myself more and get on better with people, be a better person. If that's what you're saying, then what you're saying is you don't want to get uncomfortable. You don't want to live every day in gratitude. So it's a daily thing that you've got to do, and it's the days that add up into months and years that give you the confidence, if that makes sense. I hope I'm not making it complicated for people. But yeah, I've not met anyone, as I said, I've studied people, I'm 40, I've been coaching for 12 years. So just bear in mind, right, I've coached people for 12 years. Obviously in that time there's been some breaks, I had some mental health challenges, I've had some highs of success, I've had lows. I've coached in pretty much every area of coaching, probably apart from health anxiety, but I've done social anxiety coaching, I've done dating and relationship coaching, I've done business coaching, I've done like anxiety type therapy, I've done lifestyle coaching now for fitness, for training, all areas. I've coached people that have with so many areas of anxiety and confidence and motivation. So having worked in all those areas, which I've loved, I've not met someone who has got no anxiety. It doesn't exist. You wouldn't be human. And I've had coaching too. I've had paid coaching, I've had free coaching, I've had therapy, I've been to doctors, I've been to psychologists, and I've never met any of them that didn't also have some anxiety. You wouldn't be human. No, I don't use creatine. I used it when I was younger. I was a bit paranoid about it. Wasn't sure if it was good for you, so I wouldn't take it now. Nothing against it, but no, for me now, that wouldn't be something that I would take. But yeah, I did try it when I was years ago, when I was in my 20s, and I was more into bodybuilding. So what I'm trying to say today is anxiety is a daily thing, because we only got one day at a time, and that's why I changed my teaching and have continued to evolve it. So it's all about tackling it daily, and that's how you actually change your life. You can only do it one day at a time, right? We can't do tomorrow now, the next day now. So a lot of people, I'm not going to say that people's thinking is wrong. I thought about that yesterday. I'm not going to say their thinking's wrong, but I'm just going to say I found a different way to think about anxiety and how to live a better life, and that's by practicing what I call daily discipline. Because yeah, we've all got goals in the future, and that's nice, and I get my clients to set future goals and I do it. It's almost like, well, I'm 40 years of age now, where would I like to be when I'm 50? Or some of you might say you're 20, and in your head you're thinking when you're 30 you want to have a successful business, you want to be married, or whatever you want to achieve. That's great, but we're not guaranteed the next day. We're not guaranteed. I know that's scary, it scares all of us, but that's the truth. So you can only take one day at a time. So my thing is, What are we waiting for? Live each day in gratitude. Live your best day now. All of you right now, what's the time now in the UK? It's 11:45 midday, right? Those of you that are in other countries, apologies, the time's different. But in the UK now, it's still early. What could you do today that would make you feel better, that could improve your anxiety? I could give you loads of things to do, but a lot of people won't do it. Why? Because they're not aware. They're not consciously aware of what they're doing. So I try to make people more aware. So for example, today you could go to the gym. That's one option. The second option is you could get a pen and a piece of paper or your phone. You could start to journal. You could write down all the things that are challenging you right now, that are making you scared. You could write all the things that you're grateful for. You could write some things in your life story. You could write whatever you want. You could do some writing. That's very productive. Another thing is you could look at your apartment and say, right, what needs cleaning? You could clean the apartment. Maybe you need to wash your clothes. Maybe you've not tidied a bookshelf for a long time. Maybe there's a maintenance problem. So there's always things that we can do today, but most people are putting things off. And then they're wondering why they're feeling bad about their life, why they don't have discipline, why they can't stick to their diet. Because they haven't built awareness, and they're not living it daily, and they're not practicing the basics of positive living, which are to wake up in the morning, be thankful for life, to make the bed. How many of you made the bed when you woke up? I'm not judging or having a go, but I used to be the same. So little things like that are important. If you didn't make the bed today, go back, make the bed. I make my bed every day without fail. I make sure when I get up, the first thing is I fix the bed, make it neat. Things like cleaning the toilet. I'm not being rude, but a lot of people, I was like that. They don't clean their toilet. They forget because they're not thinking properly. They're in their mind too much. They're not present. Another one is you could go and meet a friend today. So there's so many things that you can do in each and every day, but people are not doing them. Why are they not doing them? Because they're stuck in their anxiety and they don't even know it until you realize it. So that's why I talk about daily discipline, and I teach daily discipline, and I practice it myself. Before doing this live stream today with all of you, there are lots of little things that I did to get to this point. This bag here is my gym stuff. So I packed all my, I'll show you, just some of it, not all of it. So I've got my stuff to train in here. My boxing gloves. Got my clean underpants and socks, and shampoo, shower gel, and I get a towel at the gym. So this is all preparation. This is living it daily. This is daily discipline. I keep my charger with me so I can run my business on the go. I've got battery. I've got clean clothes on. I'm smart. I've got all clean stuff on. This is all part of success, of having a good attitude, showing up, for life. When I go into places, I use good manners. I ask people how they are in the coffee shop. I'm friendly. It's all discipline. And this is all what makes you stronger. And of course, all of this stuff is a choice to face anxiety or to avoid it. I've got my coffee here. I've got a banana here for a bit of energy, health, in case I get hungry before my workout. It never ends. So I get a lot out of the day, and this is what I learned from being successful before, having a breakdown, losing everything, and then learning about daily discipline. And that's how I've learned more about anxiety, more than I knew before, from living more of a disciplined life. So you need courage and discipline to conquer anxiety every day, or to make big progress where you're relaxed. Now I'm going to share this with all of you, right? Now I don't have any anxiety. So 30 minutes of doing this talk, I want to tell you what goes on inside. It will inspire you. My body had adrenaline and anxiety and excitement. So there's a mixture of nerves, anxiety, worry, not too much, but there was a couple of intrusive thoughts going on in my head, negative, threatening thoughts about the future. So I had all that, same as all of you do. But now it's all gone. It's all vanished and peaceful. Why is it gone? Because I faced it today on this talk, and I faced it with getting out of bed. Now, the anxiety will come back again. When I finish this live stream, I'll be calm, but when I'm gonna head off to the gym, my anxiety is gonna get triggered again. Why is it gonna get triggered? Because it's confrontational. You know, the way the mind works, all of our minds, I'm going into the gym. It's action. So when you explain it like that, you say, well, that anxiety isn't bad. That's part of being human. Everybody feels it. It's just that most people are not as honest as I am. I'm very open about it. Now, I'm not saying that I'm better than anyone. I'm not better than anybody. But I'm probably the most honest when it comes to this area, especially out of teachers and therapists. I'm very open because I want to help people more. I know how it feels to be on the other side when you're looking at someone that's successful, or whatever you think they are, whether it's true or not, but you think that, you believe that, and you compare yourself to them and you go, they're better than me and I'm less, and they're not scared and I am, and that means I'm not good at it. And I'm going, no, that doesn't have to be true. So I try to be vulnerable, and it's like, I'm equal to everyone. It's like, if I can do it, don't you think all of you can do it? I'm not different to all of you. But it's the courage that I've got, that I've built over the years, and it's the practice that I've put in. I've been practicing for 20 years. So that's why I've got a low tolerance for BS. When I hear people saying things like, well, I'm just going to give you this technique and it's going to take your anxiety away, I'm going, well, I know they're lying. What's the point of lying? Why don't they just be honest and say, what I'm going to give you is going to improve your life, but it's not going to take your anxiety away forever. That's impossible. It's not possible unless you stop living. So if you want to live a great life, you're going to experience anxiety, but it's how you deal with it. And if you've got the tools that I've got and that I teach, then you'll be able to do it. But the honesty is important, because if you're not honest about it, then you're not going to get past it. You're always going to be ashamed about it. You're always going to lie. So lying creates anxiety in a negative way. Truthfulness and honesty and vulnerability gets rid of anxiety. It lessens it. So it's a relationship. It's how you relate to it. It's what you do under the circumstances. So I said it on my last video on Instagram. You've got two people, and they're both suffering from an anxiety disorder, and they both can't get out of their flat, right? I'll use myself and my old self, the old Jonathan and the new Jonathan. So the Jonathan of 19 years of age, even 20, 21, 23, 25, that Jonathan was petrified. Had a lot of, some good stuff in him, but he couldn't compare to this Jonathan. The 30-year-old, now the 40-year-old Jonathan. They were just two different people, because this one, Jonathan, faces his anxiety and is more honest and has got more experience and success and helped more people and done so many more things in his life. But this Jonathan still has anxiety, and the other Jonathan has anxiety, but he hasn't done much. So they're not in the same place. Yes, they're both human. Yes, they both got anxiety, but one has faced it, one hasn't. And that's what I teach. That's what I explain to people. But it's not like, well, the new Jonathan who has faced all these anxieties and has got confident now and has built a business and helps people and can go out and socialize and get on a plane and travel and can go to gyms. It's not like, oh, now he's perfect. Now he doesn't get scared. Now he doesn't have any anxiety. It's like, that's not true. Not true. But he's stronger and better and able to handle it more. That's what I teach. That's the truth. But sometimes we say things and it gets lost in language, so people hear the word like, oh, he overcame anxiety, so that means that he doesn't ever experience it. And that means I feel ashamed of myself because I always have it and I can't do what that person's doing. Well, you don't have the education yet. You don't realize that you can if you're willing to put the work in. Is it easy to put the work in? No, it's not easy. Is it challenging? Yes, it is. Is it going to be a quick fix? No, it isn't. Are you going to suffer a lot? Yes, you are. But are you going to have a lot of joy? Yes, you are. Is it going to be the most amazing experience in your life? Yes, it is. Will it make you a better person? Yes, it will. Will you be kinder to other people? I'm pretty certain that you will be. It's going great, Frank, man. How you doing? Yeah, it's going great so far. So, it's like I said earlier, I've got I think my explanation of anxiety has gotten better because I'm still teaching and learning and facing my own. And if you're new to this stream, today I was talking about really educating people on anxiety and what it entails and how to have a better relationship with it, and how a lot of people get, because they've got a lack of education around the matter and they believe they believe anything, how people have got an idea that you're just going to get rid of anxiety and then you're just going to almost be not human. And that's not true. Not true in my experience. Everyone's got anxiety, and some people deal with it better and some don't. So my encouragement, my teaching is saying, why don't you learn to manage it and face it every day? Because if you're not facing it every day, then you're avoiding it every day. So I said it earlier, just because someone goes on YouTube or a podcast show, or you watch one of my videos, and it's not honest, but it's not vulnerable enough. There's a difference. So I'm not going to say it's lying, but just because someone says they're on a show and they're famous and they say, oh, I overcame anxiety and now I've got a successful business, that doesn't mean that they don't experience anxiety, because they definitely do. I know they do. I'm 40 years of age. I've been coaching for 12 years. I've been around lots of different people. I've studied people, and I've had therapy, doctors, all of it. So I'm not fooled by it. But that's not the main premise. The premise is the courage to manage it. Someone like I look up to, let me give you an example. So David Goggins is a fantastic human being, right? He's brilliant, he's inspired me. But I'm gonna say this, he's a human being, like we all are. He's not God, I'm not God. But he's a brilliant man. And I listen to his stuff every day, and I love him. I think he's got nothing to say about him. And people that criticize him, they're just jealous. They're the haters, you always get that. But David Goggins still experiences anxiety, believe me, because I still experience it, and he admits it. But if someone's in a very naive mindset, they just go, well, they do that with me. They go, David Goggins doesn't experience fear anymore. He doesn't experience pain. He's unhurtable. No one can hurt him. It's like, it's not true. Your mind is, you got to grow up. You're naive. But the way he lives, most people can't do that. They don't have his courage. They don't have his work ethic. They don't have the mental strength that he's got. They're not honest like he is. They ain't got the courage to be honest and open and talk about all your issues from your dad to your childhood. That takes so much strength to do that. Do you know how much courage that takes to go on live television and tell people about the worst things that happen to you, that you're ashamed about, that you don't like? Because I know what that takes me. I'm still not easy to talk about the stuff that I'm ashamed of. So that's the difference. But someone that's naive just goes, he's David Goggins, or they do it with me, he's Jonathan, he's Tony Robbins, he's Les Brown, he's successful, he's a millionaire, he's on YouTube, he's fearless. And it's like, no, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're human. They take a shit, they take a piss. Sorry my language, I get passionate. But they're strong people because they face more than you did. They're more honest than you are. I'm sorry, that's the truth. They're more accountable. And yeah, they've got less fear than you've got, but they still feel it. And if you believe that, you're not going to achieve it because you're going to compare yourself. And that's what Goggins is saying. Listen, everyone gets different things. So I might do a video today and Frank will come away and say, oh, this is what I learned from Jonathan, or this is what he reminded me of. And I'll go, that's brilliant. But one of you might hear it different. And you might say that I said it negative. And I'm like, I didn't mean that. So the way that we interpretate people's teachings and methods can be different based on how we think and how we take information in. So when I watch Goggins, I just go, I've got so much respect because I know what it takes to get to that level. And there's a part of me that I can admit and go, I don't know what it takes. I'm ignorant, I'm human, I'm flawed. But having been on a journey myself and achieved certain things and gone through a lot and appreciated a lot, I've got an idea of what that takes to run for hours when you're in agony and to talk about the abuse from your own dad. I know what I've had to do it, and still not easy. So I've done it. But someone that hasn't done any of that, they can't relate to it. They can only relate to the fandom, being a fan or being a hater, and they just go, he's the guy that runs hundreds of thousands of miles and he's the most toughest man on the planet and he doesn't feel pain. And it's like, well, that's not entirely true. He does feel pain. He's got feelings. David Goggins is a good person. He's got a good heart. I can tell. I wouldn't follow him otherwise. He's a sensitive person. So am I. I'm really sensitive. So are we all underneath. And that's why I admire him. But I'm not obsessed with the idea. I can also see he's a human being, like we all are. So it's really humanizing people in a good way, and then you can live a better life, and improve your anxiety. Yeah, 100%. Life has challenges every day, every single day. We don't escape that. Anxiety, be your better judgment warning you. Example, that a woman is uninterested, unavailable. You're not experiencing enough for a job, a situation, that term. From what I've understood from your question, sorry, because the spelling, the way you've written it, if I understood rightly, yes, anxiety can be good. It can be a warning that a situation could be dangerous for you if you don't recognize it. So as you said, if you're going to go into a relationship with someone and then you get a bad anxiety feeling, a very bad feeling that it's not a good relationship, person's not good for you, that's good. That if you listen to that, then you survive, right? But if you don't listen to that and you ignore it, then you can go into a relationship with someone and 3 months down the line, they betray you. Let's say, for example, right? Don't think that, I don't want to scare all of you, but that could happen. They could betray you. They could turn out to be terrible for you in your life. They could ruin your life. They could be disingenuine. They could manipulate you and abuse you, right? So, yes, anxiety can, that's why I said it's not all bad, anxiety. I think anxiety is only bad when people don't build their courage up. So, you got to, look, I feel you've got to put it into perspective. Let's start again. Let's put it, this battery, how could it do this to me when we're going so well? Okay, let's start from the beginning again. Let's start off. We're all human. So, when we're born, we're human beings. We're born with what we're born with, love, emotions, but we have anxiety from when we're born, right? We're crying at some point. This makes me laugh. We're all crying, right? We all agreed to that when we're born. It doesn't matter. We're a man, we're a woman, what background we're from. At some point when we're babies, we're crying for milk or love or attention from our mum, our dad, our aunties, our grandma, we're crying, right? We got needs, and we get scared when we're kids. Remember when you were a kid? I remember being a kid, and there's so much fear, and there's a lot of love and joy. There's a lot of anxiety, right? So anxiety is part of being human. So let's just stop there. We'll say that again because people have got a shame around it. Anxiety is part of being human. So it's not a crime. It's not a sin. It's part of being human. That's the truth. Let's stop there. So from this point, okay, so then we go, well, if anxiety is nothing to be ashamed of, if everybody feels it, why am I giving myself a hard time? Why am I comparing myself and going, well, Jonathan doesn't have it, or I think he has it, or he's better than me, or someone's better than me, I'm not normal. Oh boy, I need another coffee, I'm going dizzy. How long have we been talking? So we start there. You know what, I have to wrap this up, guys. Yeah, the battery's gonna run out. Sorry about that. I'll have to continue and do more, right? Sorry about that.